Your 8-minute question and answer period will now begin. How are your projects funded?
So currently, most of our projects are funded directly through project accelerators through Enactus. Outside of that, we do host a few sponsorship events where we, for example, we had one where we would go and we have a package. We go to different sponsors. We have a list of people and contacts, and we get each individual on the executive team usually, or if any general member wanted to hop in, and we'd go pitch basically whichever project we're looking to get some sponsorship for. And they have different tiers with different, I guess, perks they get for donating. So however much they are donating. So at the top tier, which I believe right now is $4,000 donation, they get their name and logo on all of our promotional material. And anytime we do anything with the project, we have a little poster that says that they're a sponsor of that project.
Do you have an exit strategy for your projects?
So currently for all of the projects, we follow the same exit strategy. So if the project manager at the time wants to take it with them when they graduate, which is when we allow the project to leave Enactus, essentially what they have to do is they go through a process with the executive board to make sure the project is ready to leave the team and it has all the resources that it needs to be able to be sustained outside of the team. We do recommend to each project that they leave a portion of the project behind. So basically we kind of encourage the students to have maybe a nonprofit side of their business that they're trying to take out of Enactus within Enactus so that general members can still stay involved if they're still interested in that project.
What surprised you the most as you worked on your project over the last year?
I think what surprised me, especially, I know the same can be said for Chantal and Wasteless and Emily as well, but I think what surprised us the most was how easy it was to pivot actually after we actually came up with an idea. So it seemed really hard at first. We didn't have access to any in-person events. We couldn't go gather, we couldn't have meetings. And that was really, really difficult, especially to host like general Enactus meetings. But for each project, I know just thinking about not being able to go offer services in person was a big challenge. But as soon as we started to kind of get everything digitally, we started getting used to virtual meetings. It happened a lot easier than we had anticipated.
Was there any unexpected negative impact or externality related to your projects?
So for Wasteless in particular, a negative externality that occurred as actually because of COVID was that the operating facility had shut down. So the greenhouse was no longer in operation, and that kind of caused a lot of what was already there to go to waste. So there was some compost that was stored there from the previous year before we had the transition. And there just seemed to be a lot of our supplies that ended up being wasted due to that partnership ultimately failing due to COVID. And that's probably the only externality that we faced.
Do you have any direct competitors, and what is your unique competitive advantage?
Yeah, with Rocket Trade, we have quite a few direct competitors. So we have Bear Bull Traders, we have Warrior Trading, a lot of these more advanced trading courses. I'd say the competitive advantage for sure that we have with Rocket Trade is that we are offering to bridge the gap between the beginner and intermediate investor. A lot of these courses are trying to teach people how to become advanced, whereas we're trying to kind of nurture those individuals and make sure that they know what they're talking about before they actually get into all those complicated technical analysis, complicated fundamental analysis of different companies. So we don't want a brand new investor to get discouraged by all these terms they don't understand. We're kind of there to make sure that they understand them before they're all thrown into the world of trading.
Why is your team the right group to run this project?
So I'd say our team's the right group to run for Rocket Trade. I think our team's the right group to run this project, mainly because we kind of were a part of Connecto when it was at UMB, which was a good focus on financial literacy, and it kind of grew a lot in that last year. Was at UMB before we had the split and then moved to STU. But aside from that, our team is all finance majors or accounting majors or minors, and if they are not, they have taken courses in day trading. I know personally, we have a few people who are working on becoming certified right now. For Wasteless, I think our team's the right team to run that project because we used to have Compost U, which focused on the meal halls, but since those are all shut down and we were getting such good impact there, it was only seemed fitting that we pivoted that project and we made an impact in some other way with the same principles, which now is taking that food waste from food produce producers that such as like supermarkets like Superstore, Sobeys, they throw out the produce. And now we're just pivoting. Now we can't go to meal halls, so we're finding partners that are willing to donate their wasted produce and fresh food.
How do you measure the long-term impact your projects have on beneficiaries?
So measuring the long-term impact on beneficiaries for Rocket Trade occurs mostly because we track each of our members. So anyone who's being benefited directly, whether it's an employee who's learning the skills or it's someone who is taking the classes, they're always going to be a part of the environment that we've created and the community that we've created, as long as they're getting themselves involved. And that's typically how we track everything within Rocket Trade. Is we just stay in touch with them. We ask them how they're doing. We ask them how they progress. If there's anything they didn't understand, with people who are employed with us, we make sure that they're getting the skills they want, the opportunities that they need in order to become their best professional selves. As with Wasteless, the tracking beneficiaries is mostly done currently with the members on the team and informing them of the harmful effects of carbon dioxide and greenhouse gases, especially in methane with the coffee grounds, and just making sure that they're all aware of the processes that need to occur and they understand the harmful effects that these greenhouse gases are actually causing. And to track them, I mean, right now, where it's still in development, the easiest way is just to make sure that everyone's on the same page.
Do you have plans to scale your projects? Why and how?
With
Your time has now expired. Thank you, Enactus, University of New Brunswick.